Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Lucy. A big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so that you will get a notification each time I upload a new video. I am back in the kitchen and today I am cooking chapati. Chapati is an unleavened flatbread that originated from India. Chapatis can be made using plain flour or wholemeal flour. The chapatis I am making today will be the best of both, so I am going to mix plain flour and wholemeal flour. I am using a simple recipe of water, salt and oil. I am using 2 cups of warm water, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 7 tablespoons of oil. Please note that the amount of flour, oil, and salt you use will depend on how many chapatis you want to make. It's worth bearing in mind that other people use ghee instead of oil to make chapatis. I will now start mixing the flour together until I get the right consistency. I think this is the most difficult part of making chapatis. I'm still trying to get the right consistency, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour as I go along. As you can see, the mixture is sticky and stretchy. I'm not quite there yet. At this point, I really need to be careful how much flour I am adding into my mixture. There's a particular consistency I'm looking for, and if I put in a lot of flour, I'm going to end up with a very hard mixture, and this will affect the quality of the chapatis. I can tell I now have the right consistency because when I put my finger in the dough, the finger comes out easily. So there it is, guys. I have finished preparing the dough and we are now ready to start rolling our chapatis. My workstation is already clean. I had prepared it before we started mixing our flour. So now I am going to sprinkle some flour on the workstation and then we will start rolling our chapatis. Here's my rolling pin and my chapati board. I'm now going to divide the dough into small sizes. When it comes to size, people have different preferences. I like my chapatis medium, not so thin and not so thick. After getting the right size of the dough, sprinkle some flour on the board and roll the dough to a reasonable size. Apply oil to the dough. When you finish applying oil on the dough, you roll it this way. When you finish rolling it into a nice little circle, you seal it on the sides that way, and then you put it on the worktop. Repeat this process until you have used up all the dough. Once I have rolled and oiled all my chapatis, they are now ready to be cooked. And as you can see, I've ended up with a little one over there, a baby chapati. The next stage will be cooking the chapatis. I find this method of preparing the chapatis by oiling all of them in advance better. This is because once they have been prepared, it is so quick to roll and put the chapatis in the pan. When you have the right consistency, it becomes very easy to roll the chapatis into a nice round shape, and now they are ready to be cooked. I have now put the chapati in the pan, and I'm going to give it a few minutes so that it cooks on one side before turning it over. As the chapati cooks, I quickly go over to the other side and start preparing the next chapati. Once I finish preparing the next chapati, I come back and check on the one that was in the pan, and I'm going to flip it over and see if it has started to brown on the bottom. I have turned it over, and at this point I'm going to apply oil on this top part. The amount of oil people use varies. It all depends on how much you want to use, so there is no standard amount of oil to apply on your chapati. So as you can see, I'm applying oil on the top part that has already cooked. Meanwhile, the bottom part is also cooking, and after a few minutes I will again flip the chapati over and apply oil on the other side. I am about to turn over this chapati. So I turn it over and apply oil on this other side. So like I have said, the amount of oil you use in your chapatis depends on your preference. There is no set amount of oil to be used while making chapatis. So I will apply oil all over the other side and then leave my chapati to cook. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. Over the years, I have been able to perfect my chapati making skills. I remember when I was growing up and learning how to cook chapatis, I used to make very hard chapatis. Chapati was introduced in Kenya during the colonial period when the British government imported Indian laborers to build railroads throughout East Africa. I think my chapati is cooked. After turning it several times, it's now ready. I'm going to remove it from the pan, and I already have a clean plastic bag on the side, and I'll place my chapati in the plastic bag. I have discovered that placing your chapati in a plastic bag makes it soft and moist, as opposed to placing the cooked chapati on a plate. If you place it on a plate, it tends to dry and become hard by the time you finish cooking your chapatis. So I have shown you how to roll out your dough, how to oil it and roll it for the final time before you place your chapati in the pan, and how to place the cooked chapati into a plastic bag to keep it nice, soft and moist. So you will repeat this process until you have cooked all your chapatis. Do let me know where you're watching from. Do you eat chapatis? And how do you cook your chapatis? As you can see, we are coming to the end of cooking our chapatis. This is the baby chapati, and I think it should be reserved for the person who has been cooking. So guys, this is the final product. These are my chapatis. You can see the baby chapati on the top, and I will definitely be sampling what I have just cooked. The chapatis are on a plate just for display purposes. Let me put them back into the plastic bag before they become dry and hard. I hope you have learned how to make chapatis. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.